here's a final thought. Okay, since like I believe we spoke about the history, we spoke about Journe's innovation. Like we touched upon it briefly. He's a genius. You don't need us to tell you about that. Tell us, Alex, when will the market crash?
For Journe?
Like, come on! Like,
so
you're taking all these watches.
I'll tell you one thing.
Are you specific?
Let me give context.
Because you could say crash and correct. There's two.
Let me.
He's going all in.
I'm just going like with crash right now. Let me cook. All right. So higher prices have flushed out the weaker hands and like the older collectors who want to, enjoy their payday, right? I argue there are probably no OG Journe collectors left. Like if you bought a piece pre-2003, you probably sold it. There's not okay, right?
They're still out there.
They're still
a lot?
Yeah.
A lot?
They're just not buying anymore.
No, but are there a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, fine. Then just the weak hands have been fleshed out, right? Okay. So people have taken their payday and gone home. So the thing is, it took prices to get to here, to lure them out, right? What about these OG collectors? Like, do we have to go to here to flush them out, to flush those pieces?
No, I think it's a question of. There's two questions in what you said. Like the OG collectors, some of them they just love their watch and they don't care about the money, or they say if I sell it, I'm gonna have to pay $10 million to the tax guy, so I'd rather have my watch and I'm happy with it.
Or you can buy a Patek only watch and tax write-off. Anyways, but that's another.
That said, is it going to crash? So the thing is, you're an evil guy because no matter what I say, somebody's going to take this excerpt in a future and say, you said it's going to continue going up. It crashed, or you said it's going to crash and it's going to continue
you're
going
going to get clipped. This is going to get clipped.
This is a lose-lose situation for me. But I think honestly, and I think I said it, the early pieces, the special edition models, the special dials, those are going to continue going up. Because they're
at this pace?
Well, we just started.
It's like it's going like that.
Maybe not this pace, but I don't see like things crashing to the ground. However,
it took Rolex 100 and something years to sell a watch for 10 million plus. It took Journe 25. Dude, what are you talking about? This is Rolex. Everybody knows. It's Paul Newman's Paul Newman.
But when was Paul Newman made? It was made in 1969 and it sold in 2017. So let's say it was been around for 40 years.
Okay.
Whatever's been around for 25 years. So there's like 15 years difference. So it's not like it took Rolex 100 years.
Okay.
Let's say Journe came
100 years of brand equity.
So let's put it this way. Journe, and we keep talking about Journe, but look at the other independents. They are benefiting the fact that the global secondary watch market or collectible watch market is taking such a rise. And why is it taking such a rise? It's going so high. It's because it started really low. If you're like, you're, I don't know, Apple, and you go up 1% in value, and then people say, wow, that's nothing. And then I'm like, you know what, I doubled. Yeah, but if I double because going from 100 to 200, that's double. But if you go from 1 billion to 1.1 billion, that's like 1%, whatever. So it's going up, but it started so low. And I think Journe, these early pieces, the special pieces, they will continue going up because they're rare and people understand the rarity and the quality of these pieces. But then, maybe the more common pedestrian or whatever pieces, I don't think that nothing's going to crash. I think maybe it's just going to come down a bit and they're going to remain flat. I'm not going to talk about any specific pieces, but let's say the rarer pieces will continue doing very well, and at one point the market's just going to dry out because everybody, once again, who's selling these pieces, they've had them for some time, so they're cashing out. But then those guys who are buying them, they're going to keep onto them, and then each time it's going to be an event when you have one very rare cool Journe that comes to the market, and that's everybody's going to want it because God knows when the next one is going to be offered.
So you're saying if you're a collector who's got $100 million to spare, you buy the big ones. You don't buy 1,000 Chrono Blues because you think Chrono Blues are going to go down.
I don't think they're going. I mean, they can't. It's not sustainable. First of all,
Like what I did there? Like what I did there?
yeah. No, listen.
So do I call my broker right now and say, buy the Chrono Blues?
No, if you're that type of guy, I would say don't collect watches. Go buy Bitcoin or whatever. You know.
Ah, right in the fields.
Ouch.
Why must you hurt me
Ouch,
so?
ouch. Or buy funds or whatever. No, at one point, I mean, look, there's one FFC for Coppola. That's it. It's gone. Next time it comes to the market, it may be 20 million, it may be 30 million. A chronomètre bleu, there's one here, there's another one there.
No, but like, see, the thing is, the whole brand is on this trajectory, right?
Yeah.
So I use Chrono Blue and Elegant as a joke, but like, okay, like seriously, let's talk like resonance.
Yeah.
Let's talk centigraph, you know, like let's talk optimum. Can prices continue to like climb the way that they are?
Optimum is a very good example because it's one of those models where the premium over retail isn't crazy. It's what, 20%?
Even on special dials, it's actually not
It's
crazy.
not.
Funny.
So-
That's the one I like the most. Weird.
You know why? Because it's
Out of the three that I mentioned.
super cool. I love the Optimum. I think it's one of my favorites as well. So the Optimum is not selling at a crazy price. Maybe the Elegant is selling. You know, it's a 16,000 franc watch, and it's selling for 80,000 francs. Why? I don't know. Because maybe it's just it's the only way to get it into the Journe market without paying, you know, 6 figures, whatever. But I don't know where the chronomètre bleu is going. I don't know where the Elegant is going. I don't know where, you know, the chronomètre souverain is going. But I think Black Label Resonance, a Mother of Pearl Optimum,
Moptimum, I believe they are called.
Moptimum, a Ruthenium this, a Tokyo Boutique Edition. Yeah, well, you know what? Try to find one today. They're not easy. Even if you have the funds, it's not easy.
Wrapping this up.
Wrapping it
all
up,
right? So-
buy what you want, don't listen to me, and seriously, don't buy watches as an investment because nobody. But it's like, all right,
You realize
nobody,
you work at Phillips, right?
I sell watches, I don't sell investments.
Ah. Okay.
No, seriously, because look, watches is based on people's tastes. So it's irrational. It makes sense if you want to go buy stocks from Apple, from Tesla, or God knows what. No, or Apple because it's, you know,
I mean, you keep,
or
you keep
Nvidia or
looking
whatever.
at my watch and
No.
like Apple.
Or Apple or you know, Mercedes or whatever. It makes sense. The company innovates, the company sells, well, you know, makes good business, shares go up. It doesn't innovate, it doesn't sell well, the shares go down. Watch prices depend on people's taste. And sometimes, you know, you can say 25 years ago, why were Journes not as in demand? It's the same exact incredible watch. And at the time, you were wondering, why were they not selling at those prices?
You know what? That's the problem, I think, with a lot of new independent watchmakers. They launch their products. They call them subscription pieces.
They think they're Journe.
They think they're selling that dream. Like, listen, hey, buy me. You know, like I'm gonna pay you back like $17 million in like 20 odd years, and like I'm the guy. You know, like everyone's coming out trying to like pitch that dream.
This is definitely a subject for our next conversation.
So, yeah, stay
notes.
Stay tuned, okay? So we're going to do this next time. We're going to talk about the newer generation of watchmaker that has appeared, the prices that they're asking.
The new business model.
The new business model. I couldn't have said it any better, all right? And until then, don't buy watches as an investment. Purely buy watches if you are burning money.
If you love it.
There we go.
Don't listen to this guy.
Buy what you like.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.